Okay, so it's February 3rd, 2021, and I was just going to follow up on my previous video with my issue with Amazon and their racism. They never did respond, and I don't expect them to respond to the problem I had with their racial ads, the racist ads that they had on their website. Especially now, because apparently Amazon's been caught stealing money from employees. I don't know a lot of the details, but I understand it's something to do with tips that drivers weren't getting, that they were supposed to be getting, and that tip money was basically absorbed by the company rather than actually going to the drivers. Now, I have a lot of understanding in the delivery industry, at least as of late. I understand how like the DoorDash apps and the Uber Eats apps work, and unfortunately, that's kind of how it is in the delivery world right now. In the gig nation, the gig employment field, what happens is the at least in the Uber and the DoorDash apps, the driver is given a request, and it will have a minimum base pay. Okay, and then the pay will go up based on how many more miles you have to drive. Well, the added pay is very, very small. So if you say you have to drive 10 miles, well, they might give you an extra 50 cents to drive the extra 10 miles. Okay? So the base pay is minuscule. And so what happens is the customer is able to apply a tip to the request. So for instance, if you want to order something from Uber Eats, they give you the option to actually add a tip to the delivery, which will help you get the order delivered to you quicker because the driver is more likely to accept your order and actually bring it to you. Well, where the problem is that the company will actually have a delivery fee on their website. So for whatever restaurant you're going to, it'll have a delivery fee on it. Well, the delivery fee is there to help them find a driver in order to get your order to you, and it even says it on their website. If you go on one of the menu sites and you click on the price and it shows delivery fee, well, that's all fine and dandy, but the problem is that money actually doesn't go to the driver. So let's say you place an order and you want to buy something from IHOP. Okay, so IHOP says it has a $2 delivery fee. Okay, so you go ahead and you pay the delivery fee and you pay all the other fees that they have on the service. And then it asks you, do you want to tip the driver? Well, you're like, well, they're already getting a delivery fee and it's $2. Why would I pay them more to have it delivered? So you decide not to tip at all. So the request ends up coming to the driver, and the driver gets a request for $3. Okay, well, $3 is the base pay to drive with a minimum distance. Okay, so if you're within like 2 or 3 miles of the restaurant and the customer, you'll get a $3 base pay request if there's no tip on the order. Well, the thing is, that's the base pay. So you actually paid $2 delivery fee, which is supposed to help find a driver, but that $2 is never added to the $3 request that was given to the driver. So what happened to that $2, right? Because the driver doesn't see it. They only see the base pay plus whatever tip the customer applied. So if you decided to add, let's say, $2 to that IHOP order, well, the driver's going to see $5 because it's $3 base pay plus $2 from your tip. So the driver is more likely to actually deliver it because $5 is $2 more than 3. And if you were to take 5 and multiply that out by 3, then that would be $15 an hour, right? Depending upon how busy it is. That's about all they're making, right? Now, depending upon how big the tip is, then it increases the amount the driver makes. But the problem is, it's the idea that they're actually telling the customer that if you have to pay this delivery fee in order for us to find a driver. Well, the thing is, the driver isn't even getting that money. Okay, so that is like Amazon in a way that they're collecting tip money, and then not giving it to the driver, but they're doing it inversely. So basically what they're doing is, or well, the way DoorDash and Uber does it, is they just make the base pay so low that nobody in their right mind is going to want to make that delivery. Okay? So what happens is they take that delivery that doesn't have a tip on it, that's basically base pay, and they leave it in limbo. Okay? It just sits there until someone else orders, and then that order has a tip on it. And then what they do is they attach that order to the order that has the tip on it. So I refer to it as the host and the leech. Okay, so you have the host order and the leech order. Okay, so you have the one order that doesn't have any tip, and it's attached to the one that has a tip. So what happens is it increases the amount of money that is given to the driver in order to deliver both orders. Now, those both orders could come from two different restaurants or from the same restaurant, but ultimately, it's still the delivery fee for both orders is they're both paid. So you could have $3 at one restaurant and $2 collected at another. Well, that $5 was never applied to the actual delivery. Okay, even though it states on their menu that money is being used to help find a driver. Okay, and I know this firsthand. So this issue is rampant all throughout the delivery industry, and the sad thing is the customers don't know that the tip matters a lot. So, for instance, if you don't put a tip on your delivery order, you're probably going to have to wait a long time before you get it. Okay, or you may not even get it at all, and that's because Oh yeah, and to add to that, so the base pay, so if there's two orders, you don't as a driver, you don't get two base pays. So you don't get a $3 and a $3. What they do is they actually reduce the second order base pay in half. So you'll actually get a $3 and then you'll get $1.50 added to that if you take another order with the original order. So for instance, the leech is now only $1.50, and the host is $3 plus the tip. And the sad thing about this is you've got the old guy that is out there driving for these apps, and he just accepts every order, right? And you know, he's like a giant sucker, right? He goes ahead and does the $3 delivery. And which does two things. One, it teaches the customer not to tip, right? That they're going to get their order anyway. So that reinforces the idea that you're going to have people that are going to use their own car and their own gas to make deliveries for less than minimum wage. Okay? So, and these companies know this. Okay? They know that they have an endless supply of drivers out there that they can take advantage of, because it hardly costs them anything to get you signed up, right? So they just know that if they keep signing up enough people, and there's enough idiots out there to go ahead and make these $3 deliveries, and that's just, it's heinous, okay? I cannot believe that these companies do this and think that they're, the white, the snowdrift, that they haven't done anything wrong and don't have any yellow piss on their dunes. It's like, then they'll send me these things in the email that says, oh, look at this driver. This driver did 9,000 deliveries this year. Well, yeah, he did 9,000 deliveries because he did all the deliveries, right? And then you'll see these promotions where they're like, hey, if you do 5 deliveries tonight, we're going to give you an extra $5. Well, if you take 5 $3 deliveries, you made $15 plus $5. So you made $20, and it took you how long? Well, during the dinner time is when they usually run those promotions. You can only usually get like 2 orders done an hour. So you're going to make like maybe $25 in 3 hours to do that promotion. So you're better off not even doing the promotion and just looking for the orders where the customers actually apply a tip to it. And my feelings about this is it's just blatant dishonesty. Okay? these companies like to pound their chests and say, "Look at us, look at us." Look at how well we're doing with our customer relations and our employee relations, because this employee does 9,000 deliveries and he's like 1% of the driver base. And we want you to be just like him. Okay, well, that guy's an idiot. Okay? The guy spends 12 hours a day driving, and he's not home, and he's making less than minimum wage to make this company prosperous. Okay, so Amazon. I'm gonna say it straight up. Amazon is a crappy company. Okay, I started smelling the stink long before this whole thing with their racism, and now this thing with their stealing money from employees. Okay, when you've got companies that blatantly lie and blatantly just, you can tell when there's something wrong with it, then you probably ought not go there anymore. I mean, I'm serious. Why support something that is so against, what's good for society and humanity in general? Amazon is a crap company, and I would definitely hope to inspire others to stay away from those companies and maybe to spend your money somewhere else and to help the little guy to try to make it, because the little guy is where humanity lives, not in these giant corporations. And I guess this is a little preview of my corporation dialogue that I'm going to have at the end of my big 3 discussion of the what corrupts humanity. Basically, governments, religion, and corporations, big business. Humanity is always under siege by those 3 control mechanisms that humans seem to think that they have to have in order to live as a group of people, right? Because that's what they are. They're just nothing but control schemes. Okay, government's there to control people, religion is there to control people, and corporations are there to control people. And it's too bad that that's the way it is, but I'm going to give more examples on each one of those in future dialogue.